Okay, here we go. So we have a PvT on acid plant. Set the stage, Kevin. What is this?
This is for the Clash Invitational. It's the match of week 5. Yeah, and it's a pretty important match because at this point I'm 3-1.
Yeah.
And if I win, I'll be 4-1. I'll be second place. And if I lose, I'll be tied for second place with Nerdshow and Rainer, who both have a better
that
map
much.
score.
Oof. So I love it.
It's
Okay.
kind of important.
Okay, perfect. Acid plant PvT, was this your map pick? His map pick?
I'm not sure. Like in PvT, most of the time I don't care too much, like about what maps go first and stuff.
Okay.
I think this map is pretty decent in PvT, though.
So you think this map is mostly preference? Neither side would want to avoid it?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might be a little. TOS might like it a little more, but in the current map.
Cool.
So
okay. Let's see what goes. Clem, of course, 16-year-old French man. Very powerful.
Very powerful.
Must kind of suck that every time your name is mentioned, they say 16-year-old first, right? Like at the very least.
Yeah. Or the young Darren or the small Darren.
Yeah.
He's taller than a lot of other players. Like,
true that. He's probably taller than me, huh?
Yeah, very possible.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so the first thing that's kind of important is, well, I can't think, but the pylon that I placed, you can see I can basically make a semi-wall with gate and cyber and then hide the tech on the left top side. And it's very hard for the Reaper to ever figure out what tech I do.
Oh, very awesome. So... oh, okay. Because of the map though, right? Because there's no Reaper jumping spot. So they have to jump in at a certain angle, right?
Yeah, so you wall that angle and then you try to make sure that he can't see the tech.
Pretty cool. So the cybercore will go north of the pylon now?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, and a bit to the east
right?
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured as much, because you want to deny information. And then on the same pylon you can put the tech and the Reaper can't see it?
Yeah. He can't see it by bumping into buildings. He will need to dive into your mineral line.
Right.
And that's very dangerous because Adept will come out. So there's 2 variations Terran can do. It's either going to be barracks first or gas first. And if they go gas first, their Reaper arrives like 3 seconds later, and they should never be able to see any tech if you play like this.
Very awesome.
Unless you mess up your control.
This was a gas first by Clem, huh?
Yeah, it was a gas first, so he should never be able to see it.
Is that anything you were anticipating from him, or just...
I know he likes to play 3 racks against me, and I know like some of his builds, but he has so many builds, and he copies very quickly. Like, he'll see it in GSL one day, he'll play it the next, you know?
Cool. So
it's hard to kind of predict what he does.
That's awesome.
He's very fast at adapting to new builds as well.
Yeah, so he's a spiky player, right? I don't know where becomes powerful.
Yeah. So he'll have like this sudden surges in MMR as well because of it. Or he'll change build orders or change playstyle a bit. Like,
that
he's
makes
really
a lot of
quite
sense.
adaptive.
Yeah, and you're gonna adapt him now, aren't you?
We'll see.
Okay.
Actually, I lose the series though.
Oof, love it.
I lost the series 3.
Okay, so we don't know anything. Pro Bull Scout. Oh, my question, I guess, just to touch on that for a second longer. My question was more along the lines of: is this a build that you do pretty much like fairly often on this map, or is this a build that you did because it's Clem on this map? The wall-off, more specifically.
The wall-off?
The semi-wall-off you do.
I think it's good against every turn.
Cool.
Like, denying information is always good.
But you prefer playing against what Clem is doing, the gas first.
Yeah. I prefer playing against that with this. Yeah. So just because it's a little easier to hide stuff.
Cool. You're a sneaky snake.
Yeah, I am.
Was that your idea, the wall-off, or did you get it from someone?
I got it from someone actually. There's a guy called Fighting Frog who is really good at figuring this kind of stuff out.
Wait. Fighting Frog is a European?
Yeah.
Oh, you would think you would have gotten it from Koreans. That's pretty cool. What a guy, Fighting Frog. Okay, shout out to him then.
Yeah, he's very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you can do against gas first that doesn't work as well against barracks first is you can hide your probe on the map and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you can't do that against barracks is because they use barracks first is because they go Reaper Marine most of the time. So if you'll come back with your probe, you'll just run into a Marine. But now you can force the Reaper back home with your probe, and you usually can get a scout, whether it's reactor factory or not.
Cool. You didn't force the Reaper back, did you? To your knowledge.
I think I do.
Okay.
I think I do it once he arrives at my base, because I prefer scouting. Like for me, forcing the Reaper back is nice, but checking Reactor Hellion is kind of a must for me. Or Reactor Factory in general. I feel like that's such important information that I don't mind going in a little later. So a lot of
Can you expand on that? Why is it important information?
Just the way you position your units around like 320, 325.
Mm-hmm.
If I know that it's not Reactor Hellion, I can be a lot more aggressive with my adepts. I can, for example, go chase the Reaper with 2-3 adepts or something like that. However, if I don't know if that's the case and I'm on the left side of the map with my adepts chasing a Reaper and 2 Hellions come in, I just straight up lose the game.
Right, they just kill infinite probes. Cool. So so when you scout Reactor Hellion, it's about not even necessarily about the number of units that you make, but your positioning.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the way I fly with my Oracle. Otherwise I'd rally it straight to my opponent, but if I know it's a reactor, I can go more across the path of where his units will go. Try and spot them out.
Maybe you want to spot them?
Yeah.
Rather than avoid them. That's an interesting concept, because at a lower level, and that I say from experience, I would always like try to hide the Oracle, but here the important thing is to not take damage.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think that's more important, but I could be wrong on that. Like, I think there's some preference in there.
Okay. Oracles. Yeah, and also, like, I don't know, if you're playing like the best player in the world and, you know, maybe you think they don't know you're going Oracle, maybe it's worth it to sneak it in there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I get you. So, Oracles in this matchup, do they often do a lot of damage or not comparative to PvZ?
I think most of the time you don't do a lot of damage. I think you do a little, like, you always get like 1 or 2 SCVs or 1 or 2 Marines.
That's the expectation.
But there's also a good chance that you just lose it immediately to a burrowed widow mine somewhere behind a refinery or just somewhere in the middle of the map. So the mechanic is a bit more tricky than it seems.
Cool. So you scout up here. You see a barracks with a reactor, not a factory. So what do you think?
Yeah. What do I think is it's either gonna be some 3-Rex play or it's gonna be just a factory somewhere else with either widow mines or cyclones. But my Oracle can see the next phase of him basically. So this probe did his job. He forced the Reaper back, and now I can come with my adept as well.
Sweet.
Because his Reaper isn't threatening to go into my base, so I can just move across the map, and I can scout a bit with that. Maybe I can spot out if he has a cyclone or not.
Great moves. I love it. Very well thought out, the Koning. So here's the adept. He will get pushed back. Do you want to force those units back, seeing as you have the Oracle on the way, or?
I mean, he's usually just gonna run back to his mine anyway. I don't really mind too much what he does with those units. If he's chasing me, that's good. Maybe I can go to the main, maybe to the natural, pick up 1 or 2 SCVs. So yeah, if he's a little bit out of position, that's nice. Sometimes I try to damage some of the Marines already, and then I come in with my Oracle.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh no! Bit of a misclick there.
Yeah, that was...
You were looking at it too, so were you just clicking on the wrong thing? Clicking on the ground instead of the unit, probably?
I think I wanted to go up, and then I wanted to attack those Marines with my Adept and Oracle, but instead of attacking, I just...
moved on the... Oh man, that's a quick Viking. Did your heart sink?
I mean, a lot of guys play like this. So he figured out that it was Oracle, even though he didn't scout it. Just probably because I play a lot of Oracle.
Yeah.
And so it kind of sucks. I prefer playing against Medevac because it's a bit harder to scout now. But here I get some important information. I see cyclones, and I see the starports not having a tech lab yet.
Cool.
So I know that it's gonna be like kind of a big push because it took him a long time to start the tech labs. I don't even see barracks building yet either, and all
You're
these
right.
things they're like
They point to
indicators of,
something.
all right, I'm gonna attack.
Yeah, because he's been making shit off of those.
Yeah.
Right? Favoring making stuff over add-ons is what he's been doing. So if he's adding the add-ons now, the attack is impending, like right away, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So this will tell you what, get back with the oracles, don't use any more energy offensively, or maybe pick
okay,
off
so
reinforcements.
There's two things you can do. Or well, I guess you can also pick up reinforcements, but it's not as good with oracles because you need to activate the beam to pick off like 2 marines, and then you don't have anything for it.
Right, excellent.
So the main two things are either defending with oracles, or it's going on the offense and trying to kill a lot of workers. I think both are fine options, but the problem with the attack is that if there's a burrowed widow mine somewhere, it can really ruin your plans. Like losing 1 oracle when you're trying to kill a lot of SCVs, like it will just cut it in half, you know, and then the defense, if you don't defend perfectly, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
So
right. That approach is basically saying I'm gonna take damage, but I'm gonna do more damage, or I'm gonna do similar damage. So if your attack gets fucked, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're just gonna pull back with the oracles then. It's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
There's a hybrid option, by the way, Kevin. You could kill some SCVs and then reinforcements, right? Like that are popping out. Or kill reinforcements and then SCVs, rather.
The only reinforcements will be like 2 marines though, and they need to walk across the map, so it won't impact the attack too much, I think.
Okay, fair. So this Viking's not concerning at all for your oracles? Like, because you move pretty confidently, right? It takes a while for a Viking to shoo away oracles?
Yeah, I don't care too much about that.
Cool.
Okay, I had my adept basically see them move out. Losing the adept is slightly annoying, but seeing the move out is 10 times more important for me. Like just confirming once again what I kind of already knew, but
probably already knew. I think that it's like nothing else it could be, right? If he hasn't been making add-ons.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just reinforcing your mind so next time you know.
Because usually they do something like this, like they go to the natural behind. So I was looking for it, but I didn't find it. Then I fly into Cyclones, which is kind of bad. Like
Not
this
the
attack,
best.
it has a very standard setup. You go Viking to the natural, Marines to the main. I didn't actually see the Widow Mine, because usually they always put the Widow Mine with the Cyclones. So
why is that, you think?
The Widow Mine would be here. Why is it? Why did they put it with in the main?
Well, in any case, what are the advantages of either or?
And it depends a bit how the TOS defends. I think if TOS defends like this, I don't actually think the mine in the main does too much.
Okay, because you can lift it up.
Yeah, if I would have realized, I could have lifted up. I don't think I'm gonna lift it up. I think I'm gonna lose a Phoenix.
Okay, and why couldn't you lift it up on the other side? Or is it because, obviously, most Protosses, I would think most Protosses would tend to defend with the starport units, the drop, right? The drop with the starport units.
Yeah.
And then the mine is more powerful on the other side because the ground units aren't as adept as a Phoenix at just picking it up.
Yeah, correct.
Cool. So do you think this is a mistake from Clem then? Or do you think there's some...
I mean, it's just more relying on me making a mistake.
Okay. Bit of a gamble, maybe.
Yeah, which might be paid off for
yeah, and look at this, but it's... Yeah, we talk about it, but man, it's a 3-pronged attack. Lands the Viking at the exact same time as well. Very nasty. Okay. Oh, but the mine splashed his marines too. Was that intentional?
I think I might have moved on there. In my head, I like to think I did.
Let's see. We'll kind of see your intent here, I think. Maybe.
I control them.
No, come on. Really? No way, not here.
No way.
But the fact that you think that it's possible means that you've done it before. So that's good. Like you know, you might have done it, but your thing wasn't on the screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good at that.
Okay.
I think I come away relatively okay.
Yeah, I mean, you kill a chunk of army. He killed, what, an oracle or two? Just the one, actually, right? If we look at resources lost, you're pretty far ahead. $700. Now, do you feel that far ahead, or do you think Clem just feels fucked now, or?
No, all I think is that I have a lot of freedom. I don't think my eco is that much better than his. So all I know is that I have a lot of freedom, and I'm gonna be up in supply for a bit. I tried to do something on his side of the map. I think if I wouldn't have lost my other oracle, I think I would have won straight up here.
Okay, especially because the bunker wasn't done.
Yeah, like I think even now, if I commit at this point, I'm pretty sure I win.
Yeah, but you don't know what's behind the tank shooting, right? There could be a few more units.
Yeah, and I'm afraid of like a medevac being there, which would make things a little harder. I think if I look back at this though, I think I should have just gone. And then just straight up win the game.
Yeah, the tanks are so scary, man, because they shoot you from so far away. As soon as you hesitate, you have to take like one more shot, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, like, is there a tank or not? Maybe you're thinking about it, maybe not. But as soon as the tank shots, you have to either commit or you'll take another volley when you choose to commit.
Right.
So it's a tough one. And we're going to see that happen here, right? You get shot, you go back. Okay, that's it. Right.
Yeah, but even with the 2 stalkers that are coming right now, like it would have been super easy. I have more stalkers than he has marines. Yeah, this was a free win.
If you knew, it was a free win looking at the replay, but not right. Or do you think you would make that decision in a different game? Oh, maybe with a liberator on your side. Did you realize at this point?
My side is annoying, but I don't know. I still feel like I should just pull away my probes there. I have warpins available. I can just warp in 2 stalkers at home and then just kill him. I even scout with my Phoenix right now. Yeah.
My point is the liberator on your side should tell you there's not a liberator on his side on the defense.
Yeah.
So probably if you're feeling on edge and you see the liberator on your side, that's more reason to push the gas pedal.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Really, really well placed liberator, by the way, by Clem. Look at that. Probably intentional, but look at it. It's beautiful. It covers all the exits of the probe, all the comfortable exits of the probes, right?
Yeah. You can't mineral walk out.
And you can't go to your other bases to mine. It's beautiful. Yeah. It blocked. Do you think this was intended? I hope so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to, misclick.
Yeah. I just haven't seen much of that. And your wall-off, your good, nice, unique wall-off is what made it possible. So it's not like it should be too standard, right? To what Clem just did.
I think you can almost always, like when you go around the Nexus and there's nothing there, it's almost always a good call, I think.
What is almost always a good call?
Like putting your circle around the Nexus like he did.
Oh, but it's not just around the Nexus though, right? Like in this case, it's extra beautiful.
Extra beautiful.
Yeah, man. Look at it. Hold up. Okay, so he's gonna use your half wall off that you made so that there's no escape from the probes at the north. There's you basically can't go to your expansion or your third base without taking damage, or going behind your minerals and around the liberator. It's like the perfect position. Yeah. There is no more perfect position than this one. Look at it.
It actually is quite good. I guess I could have just right-clicked my gas.
Right-clicked which gas?
Top gas.
And then what? Spam right-click?
Yeah.
Or just lose one probe at a time? I mean, I think you could just click on your mineral line behind. But that's the cool thing, right? A lot of time you will run away to your other bases to mine them, or there will be somewhere safe. This negates all of the gas mining, all of the mineral mining, and all of the transfers to your expansions. It is actually the most beautiful liberator I have ever seen. Okay, let's carry on. I think that's true, actually. I have never been impressed by Liberator this much. The unit's not very impressive, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you click and it does its job.
Yeah. Don't want to hype up the Liberator micro here too much, guys. But yeah, well placed. So we have some shield batteries. You were thinking you could kill them not long ago. Now you're playing kind of defensive. Looking back at this, do you regret that, or do you feel like this was necessary still?
The shield batteries? I think it's fine. I mean, they're kind of cheap and they offer some extra protection.
Cool.
Give you some more time to react to stuff. I think it's nice. I wasn't 100% sure what he was gonna do, so I think it doesn't matter too much because I play a more tech-based style rather than mass unit. So once I get my disruptors, if I have a safe haven, like I'm good most of the time.
Perfect. Okay, so you've kind of touched on it, but you're planning to go into disruptors here. You're getting blink. How common is this? Just a lot of blink and disruptor in this matchup.
I think it's more common now. I think I actually was probably the first one to play it.
My boy. You were the first one to play it?
Yeah, I think so. I know Showtime copied it from me at least.
What about M. Canning?
A lot of.
What about M. Canning?
I don't know about M. Canning. He might have been before me.
Yeah, Puck also likes something like this, but yeah, I really like this.
Puck plays like Puck plays like this, but I think he plays a little different.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Not the same build, just a similar composition. That's what you're saying. And okay, so positioning with disruptors. Do you want to be? Because we see you out here, and I think that you should be out as much as possible, right? Depending on, especially when you can tag his army.
The problem is that if you send a disruptor shot and he can chase you, then you lose the disruptor.
Oh, because it's so slow.
Yeah, so you want to have like a decent disruptor count before you go far out on the map. That's a mistake I make a lot, where I go too fast with like 3-4 disruptors. Because intuitively for me it felt like you should be out because disruptors kind of like swarm hosts, right? In the way that like they have a cooldown, right? So on defense you may only get 1 disruptor shot per disruptor, but if you're kiting his army back, you might get 2 or 3. Yeah. So, but if the disruptor is at risk because it's so slow, that's not something I was thinking of. What about War Prism? The problem with that is that most of the time you don't really have robo time for it. So in this case, I think I could have done it, but usually you go immortal while the robo bay is building, and then you start disruptors. And having more disruptors, especially for defense, is more important than a prism. Okay, where's your
immortal?
Yeah, in this case, I probably could have, is what I said.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not sure why, but maybe I felt like I didn't need it. In that case, I could have built a prism. I think I should have, either for aggressive or defensive purposes.
In retrospect, but that's good to make the point that usually it's not that great because you feel like you would need the immortal on defense. Okay, get a mine and a marine. They're not the best thing ever, but he's gonna run up the choke. So Protoss, pretty good on chokes. You had you're out of force fields now. Are you at all concerned? And on Clem's side, do you think he was expecting to get force fielded, or? For
yeah,
sure,
I think
right?
so.
Okay.
I think it's the trade there for him wasn't too bad. Like he got a couple of tank shots off, and the only thing I really care about is time. Like once I get the 3 disruptors, this fight is over. Like you just can't attack into that with what he has. Like you need to do something more tricky, you know, go around or have liberators.
Surprise you somewhere. And to that avail, wow, Proto Serral right here. You're spread. You have units all over the place, right? You're looking for other shit all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing in PvT.
Well, knowing where shit is.
Very cool. What about making a second robo to pump out observers?
Yeah. I definitely not even observers, but just disruptors and perhaps the occasional observer. Yeah.
Cool.
I think observers aren't that useful if you have an oracle, and disruptors can kill mines while they're burrowed, so the observer isn't as necessary.
Got you. And for vision, you're just using other kind of semi-cheap units or pylons, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But yeah, a second robo here would have been real nice, especially because I saw he had 3 base so early on.
Okay. So here comes the next disruptor. Oh, he's gonna get 2 mines. Were you at all surprised he did that?
No, usually you can get burrowed mines.
You knew the mines were there, I guess.
Yeah, I had 1 tag, and I saw the other one in the ground.
Nice blink, aggressive blink forward here. The tank's gonna be dealt with. And 1 more blink.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now you must be feeling pretty great.
Yeah, decent enough. I'm a bit sad I didn't start my +2 yet. My +2 attack, even though I have a second forge available. And I don't really have... My composition or my outlook hasn't really changed in the past 2 minutes. So I'm still on 1 robo 8 gate. I think I should have either had 2 robo or I should have had some transition going to something else, add a couple of gates, which is kind of bad.
Okay, were you reading into this as more of a committed attack by Young Clem?
No, I think I macroed poorly, or I just didn't think of transitioning.
Cool. Okay. And this army then doesn't scale up that well, is what you're saying?
I mean, it scales reasonably well, but if you have more disruptors, it's better. So I could have had like more disruptors if I had a faster second disruptor or get a prism. Like this kind of attack that I'm doing right now is actually terrible without a prism. With a prism, I can reinforce and I can save disruptors, but now, like I don't want to call it an all-in, but this is extremely risky. I think it's actually very bad. I don't think I should ever do this.
Okay. You were chasing the medevacs. It felt like momentum was on your favor, just watching from your perspective. Obviously, I don't play the matchup, but for experience would tell you he's gonna have a lot of shit out on the map.
Well, it isn't even a lot of shit. My army isn't made for straight up fighting. My army is made for fighting slowly with a position I can reinforce. So
and picking up shit and chasing shit, right?
Yeah. It's not a chasing army or like a one-go fight army. It's more of an army that if I have a choke that I can force field and I can run up a disruptor, shoot at your army every 10 seconds, I'm gonna have a very good time. If we're gonna have a single fight within 10 seconds, we're gonna have a terrible time. So I don't have any force fields available. I don't have a prism with me. I don't have any distraction going on. No zealots in the third. Nothing. No prism. No DTs. My upgrades are the same.
And just for clarity for viewers, what you're saying is that that if you had another attack somewhere else, then you could somewhat justify this because pulling his army over to your army might enable the other side to do damage.
Yeah. And I mean, it's very hard to play against disruptors if your third is getting wrecked as well. Like, you need to micro very carefully.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of things. Yeah.
Okay, that's an excellent point too. So because disruptors have AoE damage and basically like can kill your army if you're not watching, you have to choose where to watch out of 2 very important locations. Yeah. Whereas in other times, you know, if you're not fighting a thing that just blows up your entire army, then you can afford to look somewhere else while you trust your army to fight the other one.
Yeah, at least for a couple of seconds. Yeah.
Very cool. I'd never thought of that in disruptors.
Yeah. Okay. So this is exactly what's so scary. So now if he would have chased here, I would have been pretty afraid. It might not have worked out for him, but my army isn't actually very good at fighting.
Yeah, and we notice you don't move your army all the way to the back. You're leaving it in the middle of the map. What's up with that?
I have no clue. I think I'm debating whether I want to attack or not. And I think my mind wants to attack. Or my heart wants to attack, and my mind's like, perhaps it's time to go home.
Yeah, okay. So it's not a deliberate decision. It's not like you're saying this position is the best position to be right now.
No, it's a terrible position, honestly. Just because I don't have force fields and no reinforcements.
And only 2 disruptors, right? So we talked about this.
Yeah, if I have 8 disruptors here, I feel pretty confident in my positions. Then I should push forward. I think I might still push forward. I can't remember exactly what I did here.
Excellent. More fun.
More fun, yeah. Really.
So you're adding some sentries here and there, but not too many?
Yeah, like you always want to have Guardian Shield, so I don't even have Guardian Shield now.
Oh, nice play. Okay, so it looks like you might be pushing in here.
Yeah, this is a terrible idea. I think I realize now what a terrible idea this was. And now it's super hard to escape. Because if I just...
oh, the mines. Yeah, go on.
1 second, I have a sub noise.
Oh, beautiful. Da 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 da.
Thank you for the sub, by the way. And like the moment I shoot both my disruptor shots immediately, he can just run in and kill everything. But if I shoot them too slowly, like I lose too much of my main army. So that even if I hit good disruptor shots, I still can't fight. And that's pretty much the issue. If I don't have force fields or a big zealot warpin or something to retreat through, or 6 disruptors, like I'm in so much trouble right now. I'm gonna lose both of these disruptors for free. I have 1 more shot in my disruptor, and then that one's gonna die as well in like my the disruptor that just arrived.
I'm curious if young Clem is gonna scan up the high ground here before chasing. What do you think?
No way, man.
No way.
Balls of steel.
Balls of steel.
Yeah, if we're gonna run
Look at his vision, man. He's going up against disruptors. You really think he's not gonna scan?
Yeah, just gonna run up.
Okay. Do you remember this?
No, I don't. But I my feeling says he wants to scan.
He doesn't scan. Young Clem.
Okay, this
well,
was super
he's too
dangerous.
fast.
Because now I'm also gonna lose my other disruptor.
That's your new
I'm
one
gonna
too.
try saving it.
Well, you really try saving it. Okay, you
I might
really
still
wanted
lose
that
it
one.
in the last second.
Oh,
Yeah.
rough luck. Oh
Yeah.
man.
This game is...
It's spinning out of control now.
Yeah, it is.
No pun.
The only good thing is that I have 3 zealots in his third base, so it occupies the reinforcements.
I didn't even see you do that. And you're not even microing it at all, right? You just send the zealots. Cool.
I just send them there. Yeah.
Like they're liberators type style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he pushed a little bit too far, I think. I think he should have just got everything together back at home, even though this still probably was a good fight for him.
And he has better upgrades too.
Yeah, he is. Like his life is buzzing. He has a Liberator range on the way as well, and I don't have a fleet beacon or anything.
This is very impressive by young Clem.
Yeah, he's good.
Kid's good. Okay, so are you feeling like, how are you feeling now? Like you're fucked, or you lost 3 disruptors? That was not the place to be.
Bad. I feel bad, especially because I only have a single robo, so it takes a long time to remake them.
So what's that? Yeah, I mean, we saw your struggle to save that one disruptor. I'm surprised young Clem didn't push on the back of you, you know, trying to save that disruptor so badly.
I mean, he tried pushing, but
the zealots were too powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's no follow-up that you think he should go for here.
I think he should wait for advanced ballistics and then go.
Okay. Cool. Let's go.
Maybe get like a sensor tower or a bunker at his third base.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy has discovered us.
So what's your idea to come back into this game then? Or do you feel like you need to come back?
My idea is that run-bys are gonna be my ticket back into this game.
Okay.
And this good disruptor shots. Tempest Disruptor is my end game plan.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, disruptors are a very swingy unit. So run-bys are how you look to equalize here. A DT mixed in with zealots. And DT on his other base too. This is nifty. So there's no turret at the 4th base where the PF is. And that's where one of the DTs was kind of going, or is going through. I'm guessing you will hopefully see that and stop it. Were you not? You didn't see the space, right? Before now.
But I knew it was there. Like I have 1 DT rallied up to his natural, 1 DT, or 1 DT rallied up to his main, 1 DT rallied to his 4th.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's see which DTs you can look at. Okay, oh, scan, quick scan, young Clem. On top of shit.
Yeah, I can't believe he saw that.
Yeah, the one at the 4th. That was impressive, yeah.
And he scans for my other one as well, I think.
bionicle, this kid.
Yeah, this guy's very good, very fast. The only good thing this did was that it won me quite some time. So he's had advanced ballistics for like, how long? Maybe 30 seconds already. And he hasn't even, like, to move out with this, you either need a distraction or you need to push very slowly. And he's gonna, like, he will need to push very slowly because I'm here with my army, trying to delay him. Like, I don't actually want to fight. I can't fight this army, but I can
just
delay
want
him
him to
with Disruptor
siege.
shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want him to siege every single time. And then once he arrives at my base, I want to
And
have
mines as well.
three Tempest or so. Yeah, but mines, I think he has too many mines at this point, and they're not as useful anymore.
Yeah, and they also have to siege, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, basically people watching this is so when did you realize it was this type of army with many liberators, or is it just a norm?
I mean, I saw like 2 liberators chasing my oracle at one point, so then
Okay.
I knew that usually once they start building liberators, they don't go back to medevacs until they lose medevacs in a fight.
Okay, cool. So then you think I'm gonna make some stalkers and push out on the map to make it so that he can't attack, to buy yourself time.
Yeah. And in the meanwhile, I want to do run-bys to maybe cripple his economy, but Clem is doing pretty well with leaving mines and units at his third. And the third is really the only base I can fight. If I would have a second robo, I could have made a prism and gone to his main, which would have been super good this game, all game long. Not a single turret, nothing there.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Let's see. So you're just gonna keep leaping away, and again, just to make it a point, and so that it's clear, the reason this is good, even though Clem's army is potentially or is actually bigger, considerably bigger actually, is because the liberators are gonna be taken out of the fight as well as the mines. So that's a ton of army that needs to burrow or siege, which means you would be fighting at a disadvantage until they do. And when they do, you can just back away. So these are positional units, much like tanks or swarm hosts, or any unit that requires lurkers. For Protoss, is what units do Protoss have like that? Disruptor, sort of.
Yeah, kind of ish. Not really. I think. I don't think Protoss has a lot of units like this.
Cool.
We don't really have a siege unit.
Yeah, Disruptors is the closest one, right?
Yeah, I guess. Even that feels a bit.
To sort of, yeah.
So, really, the only thing I'm trying to do is keep his army away. Now, I need to make an annoying choice which side I'm gonna take to run to. I think I picked this one. I think at this point, I almost immediately should recall to my forward base.
Oh, okay. Because you know which path he's gonna take. So as soon as you're out of vision, you mean?
Yeah. Even while I'm in vision, like I just shoot a disruptor shot and boom, teleport to my forward base. Because he can either kill the rocks and be faster than me going around, or he can just straight up run, fly with his liberators over, and they'll be sieged before I ever arrive. And then the game should pretty much end.
Okay, and if he chose to go to your other base, then it's a longer path, so you can run there.
Yeah. So I have loads of time, and I have him tagged, so I can see that.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah, I love it then. Then again, do you think you have time to get out of vision? Because if you get out of vision, then recall, then you stand a chance to kill the liberators. Well, it's not important. Well, it's not important if you're not relying on his mistakes. But if he does that, where he just flies over with the liberators, right? Like you were saying, and he doesn't know that you recalled, then you can kill the liberators for free.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess, but I think he's fast enough that he'll only still lose one liberator, even if that does happen.
Oof, young Clem.
I think the run by on the third is kind of big as well.
Let's see. Yeah, it's huge. I'm doing massive damage there.
Yeah, and it forces so many liberators back. I think I get some nice disruptor shots at this point.
Ooh.
This is what I was talking about. Like, the moment the other guy is, defending this kind of pressure, then it's the best time to shoot disruptor shots.
Yeah.
I think most Terrans are capable of microing when they see them. I mean, they should be, but yeah.
I mean, it's a tiny window, right? Like, against two very important screens to look at.
Yeah.
Okay, and now you seem to be in a commanding position, right? Like, even though the supplies are somewhat even, you have the Tempest, you have the Liberator stacked, you have them somewhat contained. So long as he's not transition, what could he transition into that? Like,
Well,
what's
he
scary?
needs to start building Vikings now.
Okay, to kill the Tempest. So now it's about the air control. Cool.
And he needs to get some tempo on his side. Like, I have all the tempo right now. I'm sending Zealots to his base, and it's gonna be hard. He just needs to get like some drops or some Liberator range harass, like send one Liberator to the left, one to the right, go to the bases. Just force
make the game messier. Yeah, you have a the kind of army composition that you have wants to kind of be balled up, right?
Yeah. Like if this is a very good army composition for me. And a lot of time, exactly this is what Terrans try. Like, they'll unsiege everything and then try to just siege on top of you when you have very little Tempest. Because then your Tempest, they think you need to run away. But most of the time, with good Stalker and Disruptor control, you can just kill enough Liberators. Unless there's like 15 Liberators, then this would always work.
I get a feeling if we were to talk to young Clem, he wouldn't have expected the Tempests, right? Like, at this point. He seems to have been surprised.
I think he would have, but he lost so much tempo in his push. With the
From
Zealot
the
run by, with my army being there, that if he would have hit at his regular timing, he would have won the game. But yeah, that's not what happened.
Okay.
Also, Clem right now is doing exactly what he should. Like the 3 medevacs on the right side, it's usually the hardest decision to make. Like while you're under siege, to start sending units to the other side of the map, but it's almost always the right call.
For sure. Often is. Okay, so you have some DTs there preemptively, so very nice. Still young Clem will scan.
Yeah.
But you see he's just taking so much damage right now waiting for the Vikings, right? Waiting for a critical mass of Vikings. It seems like, yeah, like once we said you're in a commanding position, you felt that way? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, granted, he is doing what he should be doing, but after his push didn't happen because of the Zealot run by, it was troublesome. Can we go back to that push 1 second then? Because it seems like where the game breaks. Where was it, do you know? Wasn't too long ago. That was after this. Whoa. Whoa. Wait, this is already too late.
Far already.
I'm trying to look at the minimap as it moves back. I'm really bad at observing.
No.
Here?
A bit earlier. At like 12:50, I think.
Okay. Is it here?
This is where the Zealot run by comes in. I already cleared some stuff.
Okay. No, this is too late? No, this is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's slowly pushing you in. You're doing what you think is the right thing. And you also agree just to delay the push. So he's sieging like 1 Liberator at a time with advanced ballistics, gaining positioning. And here is the point in time where you think you should have recalled because he's gonna either move past and break the rocks and go to your 4th. But the Zealot reinforcements kind of pull his army away, and then you pick him off on 2 sides. Then you gain the position all the way back at him and pin him back with Tempests, right? So this was like maybe the most important point in the game, because right now he has win potential, and you have win potential, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I think what he should have done is he should send 2 Liberators back to his 3rd, pull all his SCVs away, and just straight push my 4th with the rest of his army.
Yeah. So do you think? Yeah, because what I was thinking is if I'm young Clem in this position, maybe I just attack with everything and maybe I win. But I don't. It's so difficult to defend that many Zealots. So you're saying Liberators are the way because you just siege it and then it secures your mineral line.
Yeah. And then you just like your reinforcements will, if he runs them through or something, your reinforcements can deal with that if you have any. And I think it's going to be hard for me to micro these Zealots properly as well, because I'm going to be dealing with the attack on my 4th base, which for me is going to be way more urgent.
Okay. Do you want to resume from replay and I try attacking here after?
Sure.
I'm sure you'll shit
do you
on
have
me.
any good turret control?
No. But can we get someone that can? Oh, that's too late. I just want to, yeah. Because he's gonna get shot on here, right? Good turn. Yeah, there's no way I can control this thing, man. Look at it. He pulls so much back.
Yeah.
And you don't even know how much he pulled. Oh, and that's the Disruptor shot's beautiful.
I mean, I do know how much he pulled because I have him tagged.
Oh, you do have him tagged. Oh my god. Yeah, holy shit. So then you go in with the Disruptor shots and now you go in with the rest of your army. So everything, he should have just left with everything at that point, right? What was the point of leaving a few things here? Just trying to hold the position?
Yeah, I think he thought he could, but he couldn't.
Maybe if he wasn't tagged, it would be a little bit more feasible. Because then it's scary for you to go in, right? If you don't know how much he pulled back.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing now is that he lost so many workers, his eco's gonna suck ass as well.
Yeah, so he should have just leaned on the attack at that point.
Yeah. I mean, now, at this point, he should realize what's about to happen. Because he's just gonna lose Liberator for Liberator, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's gonna go too slow. So
He
just
has
send,
2
like,
starports.
Liberator round. Yeah. I mean, he sends out the drops to defend his turn, but, I mean, if you're just gonna be defending for the next 5 minutes, you're just gonna keep dropping units. I have 2 longer range units than you will in Disruptor and Tempest. Like, you're not gonna win this.
Absolutely.
I mean, I think this drop was very good by him. It was very good plan.
Yeah, very good decision by him. Okay, you've regained the lead. How do you maintain this lead? How do you say, okay, like what are your closing the game steps here?
I mean, I just need to, as long as I keep this position, I win the game.
Cool.
I'm 100% sure. So the most important thing is that I don't get pulled back by his drop right now.
Mm-hmm.
What else is there? I don't lose Disruptors for free when I'm not paying attention, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can trade Tempest. I don't mind too much about that, as long as I'm killing other shit for it.
Because you're gonna trade efficiently,
yeah,
no matter what.
I think I take a very terrible fight soon, but I could be wrong. I can't remember.
Okay, so right now you're looking for efficient trades, and you have an economic lead. So even if you weren't trading efficiently,
yeah,
you would be trading efficiently or effectively.
Yeah.
Here come
and
the Vikings.
all I really care about is clearing out the.
Oh.
I didn't know he had this many mines.
Yeah, very cool setup actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of the mines to shoot at a converging path, right? Like the only better thing would be if he had those 4 mines in the back also there. Oh, what a beautiful trap that would be.
Yeah.
Like
the only thing that I care about is clearing Liberator count right now, because once the Liberators is gone, like the Vikings are useless.
And
so it's basically going to be Stalker, Zealot, Disruptor against Marine Marauder, and that I always win.
Okay, at the same time you are making double starport Tempest. So if you clear the Liberator count, you would still use the double starport for anything, or just Tempest anyway?
No, like I think the moment the Liberators are cleared, I just want to make sure that everything is gone. Like I lost some Tempest now, so it's like I have plenty of money, I can rebuild them. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah, at this point I know like 90% sure I won the game.
Yeah, at this point it looks it. Solid warp in all the way back. Not a single warp prism was made this game, I think.
Yeah, terrible. Really bad. Also, my second robo was way too late. It's just like...
you probably were just trying to silence the haters.
Yeah, it was not good.
GG. Well, I thought it was a great game, despite of the lack of war prisms.
Yeah.
Pretty good game. All right, Kevin. Well, thank you very much for being my second guest.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
No, thank you for your time. Okay, love you. Bye.
Yeah. Love you. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Okay. That was Harstem with episode 2 of the breakdown. So I hope you guys enjoyed.